Chapter 24. Heather, POV. Leaving the castle was the best feeling of the day. The queen rose another notch in the bitch scale in my mind, and I was a little annoyed with her. I believe she deliberately left me alone for the whole day. Why else were there so many empty desks? Not once did the current beta wife or future queen come into the room, and I was beyond not caring. I could still reject the playboy mate and let him get some other power-hungry slut to take my place. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. And tomorrow, if I'm left to do the same, I will wander around the grounds and check out the castle. I'm not going to stay another whole day stuck in that room because she said it was my job. I won't do it. I was so relieved to see the television station, and I could finally get some real work done and talk to people. I was hungry for some conversation.
Here we are, Heather. Do you need me to collect you later and return you home?
Jerry said kindly. His smile never left his face, even though I had not said one word to him this whole drive. No, I'm sure I can grab a lift from my dad, I replied and gave him a genuine smile.
You have my number if anything changes. I'll come and get you if you need.
Jerry reminds me, and I give him a grateful smile. See you tomorrow, Jerry. Thank you for today. I gave him a smile and waved as I walked away and headed to the offices. Back on familiar ground, I was confident and walked to Dad's office and was met by his secretary who did a double take when she saw me arrive. Hi, Heather. I wasn't expecting you to be here. Does your father know you're coming? I was taken aback by the question. Why would he not be expecting me? That's a weird question. Why would Dad not expect me here? I asked in a friendly tone. Well, you see, Just then, my dad's office door opened, and my brother walked out with an armful of paperwork. He looked at me and growled, and then walked past me, not even saying hello. I was confused, and walked past the secretary and entered Dad's office. In there was another one of my brothers, and my dad, knee-deep in paperwork, and on the phone to someone and hitting the computer. He looked up at who entered his office, and looked surprised to see me, but kept on speaking on the phone. Not sure what was going on, I walked past my brother and nodded as I walked by, and looked over at my dad's computer. I saw immediately what was going on, and what was wrong. I took the keypad away from him and started to click the keys, fixing his problem while he continued to talk on the phone. After I fixed Dad's computer, I handed back the keypad and waited for him to finish his call. My brother, who was sitting across from Dad, looked relieved now that I had shown up and fixed the computer. Deciding to see what else I could help with, I looked at the paperwork on Dad's desk and saw another red carpet event that had been requested. And it looked like our beta was asking Dad to help get the event together, as he was tied up with a lot of packed business at the moment and could not spare the extra time to get it sorted. And this was something I usually got to help out with. Maybe that was why the boys were getting annoyed. They most likely thought they would now have to do it all, and they had no experience with it, or what was needed at this kind of level of event. I grabbed the folder from Dad's desk and sat down at the empty desk that I would normally be at, and started up the computer there. I started to enter the information of the group that had requested the event, and opened the calendar to see if we had those dates empty. Once I had worked out that those dates were free enough, we could move things around and make some space. I set the calendar for the event, for us and for the hall, so no one else could book it or change anything. Then I started working out what we would need, as the level of that event was way bigger than the one we just had. I needed to talk to my dad and Beta. So far, I had not had time to talk to either of them about the changes I thought were needed to make things work better. Once Dad got off the phone, he walked over to me and looked over at my shoulder to see what I had done. Then he put his hand on my shoulder and squeezed me. Tad, why did you not call me and let me know this was going on? I could not have gone out yesterday. I could have come here and gotten all of this started. I scolded my dad for letting me go out with Mason when we had important work to do here.
Heather, we need to learn to do this without you now. I can't expect you to come and pull us out of a hole every time we get a little pressure put on us. Once you are mated, we most likely will not see you very often.
Dad countered kindly. I understand, Dad, but until the guys get a hang of the job, let me help out on these big events. They're too important to mess up. I tried to get Dad to see how much I wanted to be here, and how being mated was still not where I wanted to be.
All right. Heather, pick one of the boys and guide him through everything that you're doing. I sent Marty off with some paperwork that I wanted scanned onto the computer. Maybe you can take Morgan through what you're doing, since he's just sitting there, looking a little lost.
Morgan looked over at me with a terrified look, and I thought he was going to run straight out the door. But he surprised me and rolled his chair over to sit beside me. And his training began. He started to learn how to run a red carpet event, and to do the basic stuff, like making sure the event is on the calendar so we don't get double booked. He was doing okay, and picking up things rather quickly. Morgan groaned when I introduced something new, and I thought maybe he was starting to feel tired. Dad, I think Morgan has had enough for today. You want to send him home? I asked. Morgan gave me a grateful look.
Sure, but I can't leave yet. Could you get your driver to come over and you both can leave?
Dad asked hopefully. Why not? That is what I'm told he's for. I called Jerry to come and pick us up.